Hi everyone, in this video we will discuss a few points related to the immune system. So the first thing is the structure of immune system, and the second thing is different types of immune responses. Coming to the immune system consists of many different organs and tissues that are found throughout the body. And this immune system is organized into several tissues, and these specialized tissues are collectively known as immune tissues and or lymphoid tissues. So on the basis of their function, these immune systems, the tissues are mainly classified into two groups. The first one is primary lymphoid organ, which is otherwise known as central lymphoid organ. The second type of tissue is secondary lymphoid organ, which is also known as peripheral lymphoid organ. So coming to the primary lymphoid organ, basically we will deal with two types of immune cells. One is B lymphocyte and T lymphocyte. So primary lymphoid organs are the site where this B lymphocyte or T lymphocyte formation takes place. So lymphocyte formation, multiplication and maturation, these are the events takes place in primary lymphoid organ or in central lymphoid organ. So there are two types of primary lymphoid organ. One is thymus, the second one is bone marrow. So thymus is the primary lymphoid organ for T lymphocyte. So thymus is the site for the formation, multiplication and maturation of T lymphocyte. Similarly, bone marrow is the primary lymphoid organ for the B lymphocyte. That is the B lymphocyte formation, multiplication and maturation that takes place within the bone marrow. So after their maturation, both this B lymphocyte and T lymphocyte, they are transported into the secondary lymphoid organ or the peripheral lymphoid organ. So B cell, that is the B lymphocyte, undergo maturation within the bone marrow, and T lymphocyte undergo maturation within the thymus. And after their maturation, both this B lymphocyte and T lymphocytes are transported towards the secondary lymphoid organ or the peripheral lymphoid organ. So what is the importance of this peripheral lymphoid organ? Peripheral lymphoid organ is the site where this matured B lymphocyte or T lymphocyte undergo interaction with their corresponding antigen. So once they interact with their antigen, that will initiate their immune responses. So the secondary lymphoid organ or peripheral lymphoid organ consists of lymph node, spleen, and there are specialized mucosa, which is known as mucosa associated lymphoid tissue, and this mucosa associated lymphoid tissues are present in the mucosa of the digestive tract, urinary tract and respiratory tract. So these are the site where this mature B lymphocyte or T lymphocyte interact with their corresponding antigen. Thereby this B lymphocyte and T lymphocyte initiate immune responses. So what are the effect of this B lymphocyte and T lymphocyte? So this specific reactivity induced in a host following an antigen exposure is known as immune responses. There are two types of immune responses depending on the type of the immune cells. If the B lymphocytes are activated or if the B lymphocytes are involved in the antigen exposure, these B lymphocytes are activated, and this activated B lymphocyte initiate the formation of antibody, and that type of immune response is known as antibody mediated immune responses. It is otherwise known as B cell mediated immune responses. Similarly, if T lymphocytes are activated, then it will mediate cell mediated immune responses. So cell mediated immune responses are mediated by T lymphocyte, whereas antibody mediated immune responses are mediated by B lymphocytes. So let's see how this B lymphocyte and T lymphocytes initiate immune responses. So the first one is immune response mediated by the B lymphocyte. So when this B lymphocyte, that is the matured B lymphocyte present in the peripheral lymphoid organ, when this matured B lymphocyte interact with their corresponding antigen, these B lymphocytes are activated, and this B lymphocyte undergo multiplication, that is they produces multiple B cells, and some of the B cells are transformed into another type of cell which is known as plasma cell, and this plasma cell produces antibody, and this antibody mediated immune responses. Some of the B lymphocytes are transformed into memory B lymphocyte, and this memory B lymphocyte initiate immune responses whenever there is a second attack by the same antigen. So that's all regarding immune responses mediated by B lymphocyte. It is mediated with the help of antibody which is produced by plasma cells. So on exposure to antigen, these mature B cells are activated and they undergo multiplication. And some of the activated B lymphocytes are transformed into plasma cells, and this plasma cell produces antibodies. And some of the activated B lymphocytes transform into memory cells or memory B cells. This type of immune responses mediated by B lymphocytes are known as antibody mediated immunity. So antibody mediated immune responses are initiated by B lymphocyte. And let's see how this T lymphocyte mediate their immune responses. So similarly, when this mature T lymphocytes present in the peripheral lymphoid organ interact with their corresponding antigen, these lymphocytes are activated, and this activated T lymphocyte undergo multiplication. And these T cells are now transformed into three different types of cell. One is known as T helper cell. The second one is known as T cytotoxic cell. The third group is known as memory T cells. So T helper cell helps in the functions of B lymphocyte, whereas cytotoxic T cells directly mediate or directly kills the microorganism or the pathogen. And the memory T cells. So these are the three different types of cells produced by the activation of T lymphocytes. One is T helper cell, second one is cytotoxic T cell, and third one is memory T cells. This T helper cell is also known as T CD4 cells because their surfaces are having CD4. And cytotoxic T cells are also known as T CD8 cells because this T lymphocyte surface is having CD8. So let's see the difference between the immune response mediated by B lymphocyte and T lymphocyte. This B lymphocyte, that is antibody mediated immunity, which provide defense against extracellular pathogen. So B lymphocyte provide defense against extracellular pathogen, whereas intracellular pathogens are mediated by with the help of cell mediated immunity. And this B lymphocyte or antibody mediated immune responses also help in the defense against virus those infect the respiratory tract and the intestinal tract. There are four different types of hypersensitivity reactions. One is type 1 hypersensitivity reaction, type 2, type 3 and type 4 hypersensitivity reactions. And type 1, 2, 3, these three are mediated by B lymphocyte, whereas type 4 hypersensitivity reactions are mediated by T lymphocyte. So these are the importance of B lymphocyte. One is they provide defense against extracellular pathogen. The second thing is they mediate type 1, 2, 3 hypersensitivity reaction. And the third thing is they helps in the defense against virus those infect respiratory and intestinal tract. So the importance of T lymphocyte or cell mediated immunity. The cell mediated immunity provide defense against intracellular pathogen. So intracellular pathogens it is removed with the help of T lymphocyte, whereas these extracellular pathogens are removed with the help of B lymphocyte. And this T lymphocyte also help in the defense against viral infection and fungal infection. And this cell mediated immunity, that is T lymphocyte, also participate in the pathogenesis of type 4 hypersensitivity reaction, whereas type 1, 2, 3 these are mediated with the help of B lymphocytes. So that's all regarding the structure of immune system. So few points related to this immune response mediated by B lymphocyte, that is antibody immunity or humoral immune responses. So activation of B lymphocyte initiate antibody production. So antibody production in our body follows a characteristic pattern. So this graph explains this antibody production in our body. Here the y-axis represents the antibody titer, whereas the x-axis represents the time interval starting from antigen exposure. So following exposure to an antigen, there is a time period for the production of antibody, and that time interval which is known as lag phase. So there is an antigen exposure and B cells are activated, and activated B cells are converted into plasma cells, and once the plasma cells are activated, this plasma cell produce antibody, and that time interval is known as lag phase. So during lag phase there won't be any detectable antibody in blood. So once the plasma cells produce the antibody, there will be exponential increase in plasma concentration of antibody, and that phase is known as log phase. So during log phase there will be exponential increase in the plasma concentration of antibody, followed by there is an equilibrium phase, that is known as plateau phase. So during this equilibrium phase there will be antibody production, but there will be antibody degradation. So that will result in equilibrium phase, followed by there is a decline phase. So during decline phase the degradation will be more compared to the synthesis. So these are the four phases of antibody production. One is lag phase, the second one is log phase, the third one is equilibrium phase or phase of plateau, and the fourth one is decline phase. So during lag phase, the immediate stage following antigenic stimulation when no antibody is detected in the circulation. And during log phase, there is a steady rising titer of antibodies. During equilibrium phase, there is an equilibrium between antibody synthesis and degradation. And the fourth one is phase of decline, that is catabolism exceeds the production. The next one is primary and secondary humoral responses, that is the antibody mediated immune response, that is humoral responses. So antibody mediated immune response against the primary exposure and the secondary exposure. Secondary means the same exposure by the same antigen. So in this graph, this y-axis represents the antibody titer and the x-axis represents the time interval. This arrow represents the primary exposure with an antigen, and the second arrow represents the second exposure by the same antigen. So during the primary exposure, our immune system recognizes this antigen and B lymphocytes are activated, and this activated T lymphocyte produces plasma cells and the memory B lymphocytes, and once the plasma cells are activated, this will produce antibody. So there is a long lag phase during primary immune responses, and there will be antibody titer. There will be an increase in antibody titer followed by a decline phase. If there is an exposure by the same antigen, then already our immune system has memory B lymphocyte. So this memory B lymphocyte recognizes the same antigen immediately, and they mediate a rapid immune response, that is known as secondary response. So the duration of lag phase will be shorter in case of a secondary immune response. So once there is a second exposure by the same antigen, already our immune system has the memory B lymphocyte which mediate a rapid immune responses, and that will activate all the available B lymphocyte which will produce more number of antibodies. So the antibody titer will be more in secondary response compared to the primary response. Here the y-axis represents the antibody titer, that is the concentration of antibodies. So antibody titer will be more in secondary response compared to the primary response, and this antibody persists for a longer duration in secondary response compared to the primary response. In case of primary response, this antibody immediately comes down because of the degradation, but in case of secondary immune response, that antibody persists for longer duration. Coming to the type of antibody produced in primary and secondary immune responses. In primary immune responses, the antibody produced will be IgM type, predominantly IgM type, whereas in secondary immune response, the immune system predominantly produces IgG type of antibody. So during primary immune response, there will be long lag phase, whereas in secondary immune response, the lag phase will be shorter, and there will be low titer of antibodies in primary immune response, whereas high titer of antibodies in secondary immune response. The predominant antibody produced during primary immune response will be IgM type, whereas the predominant antibody will be IgG in secondary immune response. So this graph is also very important, the primary immune response and the secondary immune response. So there will be long lag phase during primary immune response compared to the lag phase of the secondary immune response, and the antibody titer will be more in secondary immune response compared to the primary immune response. So that's all regarding the immune responses. Thank you.